I like this Alliance draft. It's also very durable. You know, Clockwork Tusk and Beastmaster. These are not easy guys to bring down.
Yeah. So now they must ban maybe. Well, I don't know what Vivo needs. Like they need an offlaner, right? Yeah, they need an
Yes,
offlaner
right.
here.
Unless they do something crazy and put like Spirit Breaker on Tavo or something like that. But
Yeah, I don't think
I
so. They,
think they
they need
definitely.
teamfight heroes. Like Tide Hunter? Is Tide Hunter available? Yeah, it is. Like they need teamfight heroes. The Vivo doesn't
What
have
about
like
Tavo Doom?
No, no Doom. No, I want something a bit faster than Doom, like a primal beast, you know, like something like
Yeah,
that.
there's no
No,
Doom.
oh my God, he got it. He got it right. How?
I think they need a teamfight hero here on the Vivo. Like
Mm.
they don't have team fights. They don't have controls. Like they just have Lelina. And, I mean, have a little bit of control on Storm Spirit and a little bit of the Spirit Breaker. But they need something more for the team fight, right? Like a Tide Hunter or even a Centaur, something like that, or even a Mars. Is Mars available? Yes, Mars available. Something like that. They need team
I
fight.
was think I was thinking of the Mars because I was like, oh, Mars would be good, just a good way to lock people down. Although you can still snowball out of it and grab everyone, you know, all of your friends and be like, hey, we're leaving. They VOK stars. They also have to pick next, and they don't know the enemy carry, so they have to pick a hero that can work well against that. Oh, Dawnbreaker's gone. Beastmaster, Primal Beast is still in the pool. Visage is still in the pool. That's another top here, but I agree. I don't want Visage because I want team fight. Enigma, but you're up against Rubik. That makes there goes the Mars.
I think
I feel like it's Primal Beast or Timbersaw. It's Primal Beast or Timbersaw in my head.
I'm just thinking about Tide Hunter, but the problem of the Tide Hunter, if they pick Tide Hunter here, Alliance just they will pick Slark 100%. Even though Slark is not good against Disruptor and a little bit not good against Spirit Breaker, but it's just amazing. Or actually, they can pick Monkey King, right? Yeah, they can pick Monkey King here if they go for the Tide Hunter. So Timbersaw, or oh, that's just easy. Just go for Ursa or Monkey King. You don't have any option.
Let's see. What does Lumiere play a lot of? His Morphling is still in the pool. Monkey King, like you said, is in the pool. It doesn't seem like he's spamming a lot of Slark in the pubs. I'm sure he knows. Again, I'm sure he knows how to play it, but so oftentimes you see people like, "Oh, I played Slark, you know, the last couple of days. Let me try it in a pro match." But I feel like it's more likely to be Monkey King than.
Yeah, I think Monkey King or Ursa is the choice here.
Yeah, for sure.
Both of them are good.
Ursa.
If I'd prefer one, I think I would like for Ursa. Ursa is just amazing. Very good against Timbersaw. It can deal with Lina. The problem with Ursa, Spirit Breaker has a little bit of control on Ursa. But yeah, I think it's Monkey King is the call here.
But I feel like Monkey King, I like the stun just because you can stun Lina, but he's more annoyed by the charge by Spirit Breaker than Ursa would be, and his laying phase is harder because he has less health, so Timbersaw can burst him down easier than Ursa. So I'm half. I think Lumia might go for that Monkey King.
What? Oh my God!
All right,
Anti-Mage?
I didn't expect that. You just pick Anti-Mage into Spirit Breaker and Disruptor. It's not a easy game. I mean, Anti-Mage is just the best counter against Storm Spirit, right? It can deal with Timbersaw, but I don't know. I don't like it actually. Even though I love Anti-Mage, I think Monkey King would have a lot of pressure.
This last pick, Anti-Mage, also makes me feel like, is it good? Is it bad? It is. It does feel like it's a late game hero. It can definitely do well, right? You're up against 2 intelligence cores. Lina, even if she builds right click, she's gonna have a ton of mana. You can burn through and use your mana void on. I think I like Alliance. I'm gonna go with Alliance. I think I like Alliance draft a little bit more just because it's so damn tanky.
Actually, I'm a little bit confused. I think I'm going with the. I just love Anti-Mage. That's a problem. I'm just going with Alliance as well. Yeah, trust on Anti-Mage.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go Anti-Mage all the way.
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so remember to click on the Bat Boom banner below the stream on your browser and get to know more about the perks they are offering for the South America DPC. Okay, so now let's go straight to the game. It's Math and Otomo Let's go. Game 1.
All right. Hey, thank you, everybody. And yeah, thank you, Otto. I'm seeing people who are going for the team with anti-mage doing the draft. I feel like I must have some interference or something. I feel like that shouldn't be happening.
I mean, we do. There's a lot of BKB piercing abilities on Alliance. I think they could have a good chance of handling the Lina. I mean, it's crazy, right? Like these drafts can go either way, honestly. But why not? Why not go for Alliance? You know, why not see what they're gonna go with? I just think the Tusk can do a lot of work, and I think the Animage will have time to go online. And when he does, I think he'll be able to bring down the Storm and the Lina by himself.
They are going to have to make the time, right? I mean, they had a draft that was kind of focused fairly early on, right? You have this like Beastmaster I'm able to run with. My Rubik's still a little early tempo as well. And anti-mage now. So even with the Tusk that is
30 seconds to battle.
the timer for Alliance. Instead, this like weird late style timing. I do love how it counters the Storm, but I'll tell you what, Anti-Mage and Lina is not a combo or not a matchup that we get to see very often. I think mostly because Lina's banned out and Anti-Mage is left alone. So this is going to be one of the first times that I get to see this on such a big stage.
Yeah, usually Anti-Mage is unplayable, you know, in most games. It's like he takes a little bit too long, and you know, it's very rare that we see him. But you know, you have a Beastmaster for Alliance making space for the team. So Vitaly will be able to push lanes. Analog as well. Like Tusk is basically no cooldown hero. Clockwork as well is a very active support. So I just feel like they'll be able to delay the game long enough, and then they'll be able to take down the Lina and the Storm Spirit. It's you're gonna see, man. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Well, I hope so, because I will say, and even the last time that we were pairing together, you know, it feels good to see the Lina lose sometimes. You know, this hero is heralded as fantastic, absolutely unbeatable, and well, Ghost Belly playing it again here, and against Blood from Runes. Ooh, Kennedy able to snipe that one out. But looks like we are going to see a 3-1 rune split to start, so Anti-Mage starting out low.
Oh man. Oh, that's pretty bad. Oh, it's just a ruin. Alliance will equalize it in soon. They're gonna put Gardic here with the Anti-Mage. It feels like a mostly like farming lane for both teams, right? Clockwork is really good at disrupting the farm for the enemy. Sorry, disrupting kill attempts. And Spirit Breaker can just charge away if he needs to. Timbersaw is hard to kill, so I don't expect as much action in the bottom lane.
I do like thematically what they're doing with the Anti-Mage versus the Timbersaw in the lane as well, right? Like Timber is one of the offlaners that is constantly going to be building mana items, mobility items, so I do like how the Anti-Mage will lane up. But kind of feels like that Anti-Mage Sand King matchup a little bit with not as much of the level 1 kill threats, so I do kind of like that part of it. And topside, though, I think we'll be seeing less of an issue, I think, with this matchup. This Lina certainly should do fine versus the Beastmaster. Actually, he's already threatened to go for the axes on B, so you can get those CS. Certainly can't go Boar in this lane, at least not early.
Yeah, 2 range heroes, you know, so Disruptor as well can just throw the side. It's worth it, right? You get a bit of golden experience for yourself, so it's like just go for the axes. And again, like I said, 2 range heroes also means that if you go close, you take so much harass damage here. Meanwhile, for the on 4.
I do like, got a little bit of a creep dragon, creep pool down bot side, so good creep aggro. And even top, I mean, pulls on pulls on pulls. I wish I had a guide on how to pull correctly.
I'm looking all I see what you did there. But I'm looking at the teams. It's like everyone's just, no one wants to go to the lane. Everyone's just like pulling this creep wave here because, you know, for Tavo early, like the first level or 2, he doesn't want to lose all his mana. At the same time, Lumia, if he goes close, to take a bit of that damage from the Whirling Death. So it's a bit I counter you, you counter me sort of situation. Neither one really wants to commit to it.
Yeah. Oh man, we're a little bit low here.
Oh, the other core.
Into the LSA, and with the lift, I don't think it's going to be enough. Kustabele picking up that first kill on the Core. Unfortunate for Rubik up top, but I'm sure the Lina very, very happy to get the strong start. It does feel, again, like I know the Lina is a very good hero, but I do agree with the panel that, you know, you give this Anti-Mage the time to get the farming, to get the game going. It's going to be hard. You know, Storm Spirit's not going to want to play against it. With the Abyssal Blade jumping on top of Lina also feels like it should be powerful. So giving the Lina a good start there with First Blood. Hopefully going to give them to propel their start on Keat Stars.
Yes, I also think the panel was made of 3 geniuses myself, you know? It's a good panel right there.
Unbiased, unbiased.
But Tavo, man,
yeah.
this is a problem, right? It's that you want to take hits as a Timber Saw, but not much from the anti-mage, because then you lose all your mana, and you're like, but what do I actually do? You
No,
know,
it's so hard,
it's
honestly.
not like
And now you get slowed whenever the mana's all gone, right? So even able to get chased down now. And oh, Tonsai, speaking of getting chased down, Vitaly trying to turn this one back through. They're going to lift KJ backwards, but even with the axes, I think they're missing a little bit of damage. And it looks like the Disruptor will get away, but very low. Wait, I thought he was going to get away. These axes could do some work. Okay, only got hit once.
He's like, no, take me now, you know? You guys earned that kill by the end. It doesn't make it out alive. Mid lane has just been a farm fest for the two teams, like for the two guys, for DR as well as for Analog. It's gonna be, you know, they're both 4. You know, they both have 4. KRD, he's charging. We're gonna go for a defense. Oh, nice cogs, but not enough to block him.
Don't give up.
Almost,
Guys, don't give up.
just a little bit closer, and would have had that block. Could have been a nice play. It does mean now that Radiant gets both runes here, so Analog and Guard are picking them up. Surprised, honestly. It feels like, you know, ranged melee matchup in the mid lane, especially all that magic damage. Maybe it should be a little bit better for the Storm Spirit, but I tell you what, Analog is playing this fantastically on the Tusk, using the nukes effectively, still getting all the CS that they need, as well as again not being totally low and buying a ton of regen in the lane.
I don't know if I agree with that. I do feel like you have a harass advantage as the ranged in the range melee matchup, but as melee you get more damage from the Quelling Blade, and you don't have that attack projectile that you have to worry about. So you always have like a CS. It's easier to CS, but you get harassed. But Tusk is a hero that's naturally very tanky, has a lot of health regen, so he doesn't really care about that.
Plus with the runes that he just got.
KJ,
man.
KJ is brave, man.
Bold or maybe a bit too much? It was a bit too much. In fact, goes the Billy. Almost going down as well. There's both so low HP heroes here, and I'm sure the Lina not able to step in the lane for a bit. It's going to be hard. And oh, even mid lane a little bit of a trade, but Analog just using the spells. You know, they've been getting all those bottle charges. Gotta use the spell essentially. Oh man, what a zone. Gardic actually keeping the Spear Breaker like off the wave. I guess the one way that you can kind of make your way back into this lane top side is getting the kill on the Rubik. Drag back, actually canceling the sound from the axes. So Coach the Belly will get the kill on the Rubik. I think some Rubiks who say, hey, I'm at 100 HP and no mana, just kill me. Send me back to base. Let me get my resources back. I'll come back and I'll kill you again.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they really care. I mean, Vitaly was just farming the whole time. He actually has the highest CS at the start of the game, but he's starting to drop off a little bit in terms of the net worth. You know, not that too far behind Tavo, and that kill is certainly going to help him out quite a bit here. And for Analog, he's going to start rotating pretty soon. He is level 6, so he shouldn't have any downtime. We'll see what he wants to go for. Killing Lina early on is really good for the Tusk. You know, she's not yet have that durability on her. You just snowball in, you can bring her down most of the time just with your combo. She only has what? Oh, actually, he has a Falcon Blade, so it does have a little bit of health on her.
Speaking a little bit of element, Tavo, you did say that Tavo may be a bit better just to take the hits, right? You're going to be taking them anyways. Go get that passive. And now even getting the anti-mage pretty low in the lane is still nice. So, oh, they charged down. Oh, okay, Lumiere able to back out here. And, oh, KJ going down top side. I tell you what, they are aggressive in this top side of that. Both of these supports just want to make sure that the other core feels bad. It does not matter how they feel with their own life.
I mean, it's I like it, and all of a sudden, Alliance up on top with 3 of their heroes. Costabile is farming pretty well, but he's susceptible. You know, he's more susceptible than I feel like Lumiere would be on the anti-mage here. And they're going mid Analog. All right.
As you said, they do be tanky on the Tusk. It's naturally a tanky hero, so it takes a lot, honestly.
And not only that, he's also got the Infused Raindrop, which is like a fantastic item against Storm, who generally does his damage in like bursts, where it's like, I know, he goes in, does damage, and he like a few seconds after he does a little bit more with the Remnant. So it's not like consistent DPS, like every 5 seconds you get a volley of it. So really good to have the Infused Raindrop here. KJ, oh, they know the
They smoked up, trying to de-ward, and all of a sudden, hey, I found a Rubik! And Theolacor doing as much damage as he can. Costabelli also getting that kill, so very good for the Lena. Able to pick up on that one, but a nice smoke from 40R. Actually gonna get punched up by the Tusk. Almost wants to go under the tower, but that's a bit too deep. They'll take that one kill on the Rubik.
Radiant's bottom tower
Yeah,
is
it's
under
it's interesting rotation, right? Because you do throw out a lot of people there just to get a kill on the position for Rubik, so it's fine. But yeah, I mean, the Keats, I think they would want a little bit more than that. Oh, yeah, see,
snowball through.
KJ
They're actually going. Yeah, they're going down to the Disruptor, so Ruptor could go down here, but Garnick actually going to get bounced through with the Cogs. KJ is actually safe with this one, thanks to those, and now with the Arcane Rune, yeah, 40R just going to keep on going. Theolacor in a bit of danger, but is able to get onto the high ground, so still not zipping up to the high ground for 40R, making the safe play. That's what you probably should be doing.
is under attack.
Great glimpse, by the way, getting the tiny away from him, and then Gardic was like, well, I don't actually do damage yet on my clockwork, and he was able to make it out alive. So they took a pretty good fight for key stars here. At the same time, Anti-Mage accelerating his farms, #1 the net worth. This is not what we want to see here. He's hitting King RD a few times. Might get a, might get a kill here.
Even higher on the net worth. Oh no, top net worth AM as you get to the 9-minute mark. Already at 4,000. Yeah, if your key starts, the one thing that you have is I have an anti-mage. It takes forever for this hero to get online. But all of a sudden he's won the lane, just got himself another kill, and with I'm sure Battle Fury on the way, yeah, your time is going to be cut shorter and shorter for you to be able to win this game. And 40R, gotta be a bit careful here. Following up, short zip onto the high ground will get him to safety. And actually a smoke. The Clockwork is even behind, ready to go in on this one.
Bit low level on the supports, by the way. We have 3 supports on level 4, so we're not gonna be seeing them be able to get the big steals, the big hook shots in. It's gonna be on the course to make play. And Theolacor dies again. Like I said, the supports losing. All of them are level 4. They're all losing their lives, not able, just being hunted down by the course right now.
Oh yeah.
KJ.
Oh, Snowball save on the glimpse, and KJ, yeah, trying to turn this one around with the Thunder Strike, but oh no, Garnet gonna find the Disruptor. No more glimpse to save you now, so I pick up support on support action here. Everybody's low, and I tell you what, I've seen some low net worths on supports, 300, and oh, maybe even a little bit more. No, okay, mid lane does zip away with what's left on 40R. But oh, even more, it never stops. The fighting, we're just never done here in this game #1. King RD able to get into the tier 1. And finally, maybe we've settled down a bit. Tavo just able to take the bot tower. Fantastic for them. Everybody's grouping up around mid still. They're not done. Maybe we will try to see an early level 1 take from Alliance.
Yeah, you look at Alliance, their magic damage or like their pure damage, it's not significant, right? It's not amazing to bring down a Timbersaw. So they're like, why should we go and try and bring him down? Let's just go for like the other lanes. Tavo, he did get the tier 1 bottom, but for Lumiere, it's like, well, all right. I mean, now it's like deeper into my jungle. I can still go and farm it, no problem. So I don't think this is something like Alliance was worried about. They kept Lumiere down long enough. He's getting very close to his Battlefield. I think he's like 1 component away from it, which is the Broadsword. He's gonna get it next. And yeah, he's fine. Like, this is all going pretty well for Alliance, you know?
Mm-hmm. And I think the thing that we're gonna have to look at eventually, especially as we get into the mid game here, AM is one that wants to like kind of cut those waves, right? Get the Battle Fury, just take a few waves and then jump back out of dodge. But with a Ruptor, Spirit Breaker, Storm Spirit, this is a pretty mobile lineup. And we actually, I think, already talked about the Lina, one of our former casts, where Lina's a bots hero. All it wants to do is get that bots, TP in on a creep wave and get a kill with their team. So this could be maybe a bit of false confidence from the AM if they are able to kind of lock him down once we get to the mid game, once we get very mobile on these 3 heroes.
Yeah, I agree, right? Like, it's especially the charge, right? You never think about it. Oh, crap! You know, I'm being charged. It's something that you just you're pushing out the lane. You show up for a couple of seconds. You don't think anything of it, then you get charged. And Glimpse as well is another ability that I feel like if you don't see a lot of disruptors, so people forget that that's a thing sometimes. You know, you see pros all the time get caught, and you're like, oh crap! I just got glimpsed back to Fountain after teleporting. It's not. It can't catch you by surprise.
Oh yeah. I've played with a few people who just sit wards on top of. Oh wait, mid lane analog. They use the hook shot. They do get in front of Tavo, and well, maybe they actually want to turn this one back around. LSA from Costabelli. And even in the mid lane, man, it is fights on fights on fights. The Theolacor goes down again. Thankfully, Tavo does live, but the battling, it's just gonna be one continual war in the river.
And I like what Costabile is going for, by the way. He's going to go for the standard items here, the Maelstrom and the Falcon. But after he's going to go for a Force Staff, as it's you're going to make it because part of the Hurricane Pike. But in this game, you want to push people out here of the cogs, away from the snowball, away from the ice shards. So it's a very nice pickup. And it does show that, it also shows that he's going to be pretty active, right? You're not going to get an early Force Staff and then go farm the jungle most of the time. And Disruptor, like you said, the low net worth. Like, my man, does he have... He doesn't have boots. He's got no boots on Disruptor. He's walking around with wards and nothing else. He's got what is this target?
He must be continually feeding tangos. This is like the only thing that he's bought this entire game. It's just tangos for his friends. That's gotta be it.
Can you imagine? He's like, guys, can I get a boost? He's like, no, you don't need gold. Oh, Tavo, is it? No,
don't afford anything. Yeah, Tavo getting lifted up, and this time the axes from Vitaly. I mean, this axes build was good for the Lina lane, and also now because of how much you don't want to pump physical damage into the Timber Saw. Very nice to also get that kill now on Tavo, maybe a bit too far in the lane. 2,000 net worth lead for Alliance, and King RD gonna get the Nether Strike on the Rubik here. Costabile going in as well. So another kill for the carry Lina, and they're just trying to cut back this net worth lead because topside Lumiere, he's still farming up, and we got the Battle Fury. Sub 14 minutes, it feels good.
Very fast Battle Fury for him. And he's gonna be look at the last is 120 in 14 minutes, so he's just very happy. Vitaly is also gonna have the Helm of the Overlord. I think he might actually have it right now. But the law that kills that key stars at the beginning has been on the supports. Theolokor is almost always dead, but it doesn't matter because Lumiere and Vitaly are farming well. I'm not blaming the guy. He's doing it really. He's taking the hits that someone should.
No, he's taking a lot of hits, and he also is able to afford boots. So clearly something is going well for him.
I mean, he's like the second most farmed, so he's doing pretty well.
Yeah. We're about to find out how hard it is to be a pause 4 in this game. 40R will zip him back in, and that's another kill here. 14 in 14 minutes, and a 1,000 net worth lead still for Alliance. And hey, I mean, I think as we look at the net worth lead, or the net worth for the AM climb and climb and climb, it is well to note that not a lot of heroes can keep up with the last hits and the XP even of the Lina. Lina and AM both uniquely able to show on these waves pretty often with bots on the Lina, the exquisite attack range also on the Lina, making it safe to get those waves, and of course the AM traditionally able to blink on. So we'll see again if that ever kind of shuts down, because we've seen a lot of moves from Keystars, right? They made moves in the jungle now. They moved into their own jungle just 30 seconds ago. And Alliance, they have enough of it. They're saying, we're smoking, we're making our own play, we're going back to take away the dire jungle from you.
But they're not really going for boss. He's going for BKB next on to be like King RD is probably losing his life here on the Lina. It does seem like he wants to be very active, but every time he gets an item, he's like, I need another item, It's like, oh, I got the Maelstrom, I need to farm. Okay, now I need the Force Staff. Okay, now I need the BKB, because I don't think he really wants to fight without the BKB. It's so scary against the snowball hook shots.
Yeah, and I totally understand the Force Staff, like versus a Clockwork. Honestly, even versus the Tusk and the AM, a fantastic item. He'll turn it into a Hurricane Pike eventually. Surprised he went for it so early because that seems like he has a support job, but if you look at his current pause 5, Force Staff is a while away. So I do like that adjustment from the Lina. And they're taking this tier 1 right into the Roach Pit.
And Spirit Breaker's not Force Staff support, He's a lot of things. That's true. But he's not Force Staff support. He's more of a like I want to rush Aghanim Scepters whenever possible kind of guy. But this is a big thing. This is a big thing for Lumiere to get. Now he can push out a little bit aggressively. If he gets charged like he does now, he can have his teammate, his posse show up by the time he dies this first life at least.
Oh yeah, and honestly, we keep saying like the timing is technically on Keystars. They're the ones that need to end this game early, and that Aegis, like you want to be the one. If you need the advantage, you want to be the one taking the Aegis and going on the map. So they'll find themselves a kill on KJ, maybe even push forward again this time for Keystars. This is rough. We need to see them do something, but you don't want to fight into the Aegis.
Yeah, the Timbersaw pick is awkward because we talked about last pick. We were thinking Mars, Tidehunter, some sort of team fight. I was looking at the Timbersaw. I'm like, Timbersaw's a hero that Oh well, it doesn't matter. Or the other, they're gonna
Vortex
fight.
and the Laguna. They could take down Analog early. No, but the snowball save. They actually can get away from this, but 40R will not let you leave. They get the kill with the roar on 40R, trying to get away from the summons, and just barely with the zip. In fact, they're not done with you, Vitaly. The glimpse backwards from the Disruptor. KJ secures another kill. And I said, look, maybe they don't want to fight into the Aegis. I was wrong. I'll take that. They get 2 kills, and Aegis still on the AM though.
Yeah, but that was because the anti-mage wasn't there. So that was a great move by Keystars, taking the fight, bringing down 2 cores, keeping them contained. Huge, especially Vitaly, who is a little out of control as the Beastmaster. So a huge fight for Keystars. Like you were saying, they need to make a move, they need to make a move. That was the move that needed to happen. Oh, Theoloko, you got Whirling Death. That's such a crappy ability for a Rubik most of the time. Big charge. Big
Surely it'll save him. Oh boy, okay. Usually when you see the status resist pop as he's running, you feel like you're committing that one, but no, Spirit Breaker does stop that one early, even secures the rune for the Storm Spirit. And yeah, like they just lost that fight for Alliance. Do you think in hindsight, maybe that Aegis should have been on someone else, or like you're still really happy making this so that Lumiere is essentially untouchable? You just don't want to go on this guy, allow him to keep farming.
I think he still went on Lumiere. It's just that that was an awkward fight that they took without him around. Because he was like, do I come in? Do I not come in? It kind of looked also a bit okay. You know, Alpha Online was like he's going to be safe. Then he dies. Then Glimpse on Vitaly. That cost him his life. So it only looked bad at the very end, if that makes sense. You know, it was an okay fight.
That's true.
Then.
Yeah. And
Once
plus the carry ammo isn't really
bad.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look good whenever you have the Aegis and you lose 2 heroes, but also like that isn't the carry mindset, right? The carry mindset is, hey, there's a fight at my tower, I'll show up. This one was at the enemy tier 2, and you see your teammates dying, you don't go in for it. Speaking of your teammates dying, glimpse into the Static Storm. Tusk, you don't get out of that one. They use another strike again, trying to get out the Theoloko, using Laguna from Costa Belly as well, trying to secure this kill. We'll get into the trees from the Rubik, but that beautiful chakram toss from Davo secures themselves another kill. So 2 gone, and maybe even some bot tower pressure coming from Keystars.
The combination of charge into Glimpse is amazing. It's like Track and Rocket, you know, homing missile on Tinker. It's so nice to do that. This is the same thing. You just charge anywhere. KJ from anywhere, from like if he's no device, says, "Oh, I'll just press W on the guy." That's it. I'm not sure I like what Tusk is going for with the Desolator. You know, he's going for Desolator. I would prefer a BKB. You know, it's getting to that point of the game where it's like, you just need to stay alive. You don't really need to do damage. You're just disrupted by yourself. You know, with the tag team, with the punch, with your spells. Like you can rely on other people to do damage. Basically, I'm not sure how I feel about this. I mean, well, I do know how I feel about it. I don't like it.
No, I was talking about this with Pepe on Sunday, where like the Disruptor feels like a shell of a hero once the BKBs come out. Now it transitions how you play the game, right? Now as a Disruptor, you're trying to like bait the BKBs. That's how you really like enable your team. But with the BKBs out, it's much harder for a Disruptor to play. You can instantly glimpse, throw the Static Storm down, throw down the kinetic field, and you don't care. There's no BKB that can stop you. But now you gotta be a little bit careful once those come out. So I would agree. It doesn't seem like they have damage issues just yet. I want to see them survive the fight and then find out if you have damage issues.
Yeah, but overall, the AI still believes Alliance has about a 65% chance to win this game. Timbersaw is one of those heroes who, as the game goes on, does fall off a little bit. He brings a lot of damage, but damage becomes a little bit less impressive as it's because it's static damage. You know, it's not like it increases in any way, so it's just not as impressive. And there's no control coming out from it. Whereas Vitaly, he does have the army. He has a BKB piercing roar, which isn't always incredible. So at least the offlaners, Alliance has that.
Yeah, and we haven't really felt like the unkillable Timber, right? This wasn't Timber versus Wraith King. He didn't have the invincible lane, going to take your tier 2 tower, trying to force a bunch of heroes over, right? Like this was just like an okay lane, fine lane for the Timbersaw. And with the Timbersaw standards, that's not good. That is in fact a bad lane still, because you weren't able to force those objectives really early. You're not some like monster. You're like, how do we kill this guy? Like the AM is 4K net worth on top of him right now. Your lean is a lot of the eggs in your basket right now if you're Keystars.
Yeah, plus he's got like 1,400 mana, so it's like if he jumps in and he tags hits from Lumiere, it's like, well, thank you, you know. Just what is a Timbersaw without mana? You know, what is? There's no hero that's more of a creep than oh, Garnick, he might be a dead guy soon.
Oh, he might. I mean, they already get the hook shot away, so we'll be safe from the clockwork, but the Olakor doesn't have such a luxury. Will fall. A lot of damage done from Costa Bella again, but 40R will pick up that last hit. A Witchblade already on the Storm Spirit with that Kaya and, again, BKB on the way here. Could feel pretty nice for the Storm Spirit, honestly, to make a bit of an effort to stomp in this Alliance draft, push them back into the base a little bit more and buy them some time.
Anti-Mage, Lumiere's going to have a bit of problems with these fights come up because he's going for the Lincoln Sphere next. I think he's going to need a BKB because you're up against Storm, Spirit Breaker, Lina, as well as Disruptors. Like, you walk into a static Storm, a charge comes out like to a guy next to you. There's a ground target, it stuns and disables. It does feel like he has to go BKB. I think, wait, did he change his mind, go for Scotty instead? Yes, he did. I swear to God, he had the Lincoln Sphere queued up, but he changed his mind. He tricked me, it's not my fault. All right.
Yeah, no, I mean, Scotty also, I don't mind it. I do really like the BKB idea. Again, Disruptors is one great hero until the BKBs come out. But they are smoking, so they're going to try to make something happen with this Scotty going down towards the bot side of the map. Aegis, there won't be another Roshan available for another minute, so I like them trying to take some stuff bottom. And look at Tavo! They find a Manta up. They take so much mana away from the Timbersaw. Snowball in as well. And, well, poor Tavo, just nowhere else to go. Even the Mana Void to secure the kill. 300 gold going to the AM. And now Vitaly even roars up onto the Disruptor. It's a charge through from Kennedy trying to stop this one. And the hookshot also whiffs from guarding. Maybe they can't take this anymore, KJ. Oh no! The Beast Summons are just gutting him down. And they can continue this fight now. The Elgor even stolen that Timber Chain. It forces the buyback onto the Disruptor, and the LSA will hit, but the BKB from Analog, we said this is what he needs. The Tusk did pivot back into it, and all of a sudden will be able to live now through this fight, forcing the buyback on the Disruptor and getting the kill on Tavo.
I love what the Olakor did on the way out, by the way. He put a sentry to remove the observer so there's no glimpses. Like, for Analog uses BKB, so they couldn't glimpse straight away. He's like, oh, they might glimpse on the way out. And that was just really nicely done by him. Oh, no, it's about half a second too late, buddy.
Oh.
And I love the Timber Chain. Can we see the cast range of the Timber Chain on the Olakor? Can we hover over it? The observer will be so kind as to give that to us. He's like, nope, we're not getting. Unless it's showing, but it's not. Yeah, he's got a Lincoln sight. Look, damn it. A Yule Scepter on the Rubik is another nice way of getting a disable out on the enemy team. You know?
That is one large Timber Chain. Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
Right?
That's a pretty good spell.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's fun.
No more trees around, and again we have the Aegis on Lumiere. Shard actually picked up from the Olakor, which has been a reason why this Rubik has been kind of turned into a much better hero. Typically see the offensive potential, right? I'm stealing your spells, I'm killing your team. But with Shard, now you're also a save hero, which kind of adds that other dynamic. And honestly, with the Storm Spirit, with the Glimpse, I really like that. I like being able to kind of save your team from these spells. Now, you can't pull someone out of the static Storm Connect field, unfortunately, but you can still do your best to get them away from the enemy team. And topside, LSA does connect after the charge here, but Anti-Mage, very good against that magical damage. We'll just jump back, but glimpse in again. How many times can you bring him back? And now with the Mantis out, he actually kills 40R. You brought him back, but it only will kill your team. Now, Lina is a turret from the trees, but as the Anti-Mage responds, it's right back into the static Storm, getting set up again, and Storm Spirit ripping through. They do kill Lumiere with the buyback of the Storm Spirit, and 3 gone. Honestly, you feel like this is pretty worth for Keystars.
Yes, I mean they had to take a pretty tough fight here. They are forced to use the buyback, but I think you're okay with that if you're the Storm Spirit. I mean, it looked pretty bad because he was able to spell shield the pull from 4DR. And it's like, oh, that's gonna kill him instead. And look at that. When he jumps in, he turns on the spell shield on, and oh, it's really unfortunate here. That long, it's a pretty short cooldown. Yeah, but pulls him in. He's like, well, then I can get the kill. But the whole time on the back, Costabile was just throwing out those right clicks. And once the BKBs were out, he had to go back. Vitaly had used everything. And that's why you need the BKB on that damage. That stack storm is too much.
KJ was a masterclass in that one, and again, I agreed because there was no BKBs, but I think all the spell casting from the Disruptor was absolutely fantastic with those 2 kills. I really applaud the buyback from the Storm Spirit. He's even trying to make more happen here. The Olakor yolking himself up into the air, but that will still be a kill. That Lina, again, too much physical damage, and even Vitaly going down. A double kill goes to Billy, and that's just... I don't know. We are starting to see why this Lina has been prioritized for many, many drafts right now, and Keystars are loving it.
Yeah, even if like the Lumiere jumps on Costability, he can just Hurricane Pike him away. He's got now, he's got his own BKB. He's got a Shadow Blade, so it's gonna be pretty hard for the Anti-Mage to get on top. He is gonna go for the BKB now. I mean, he went back for the Vanguard before he went for the BKB. So
okay,
it's not exactly the fastest. He wants to go for. I think he wants to go for Basher first, but then he's like, all right, you know what? It's clear that they can control me, so he has to go for BKB.
Yeah, he'll be able to split that apart for Vanguard, and then I guess, honestly, I'm not sure what he could use that the health booster for. I'm unsure of what he'll use with that, but either way,
you know, it's like.
Yeah, could be. I'm thinking of everything that I feel like is either that or Eon does, but I'm sure with the BKB you won't need that. So yeah, no, excited. And KNRD, ooh, charging. Does have to back out immediately. Good moves from him. But yeah, no, I mean, I think that is an eye-opening fight for Alliance, right? Hey guys, I think we need BKBs. I think that if we have a BKB there, we win those fights. Analog clearly already on top of it. The Tusk isn't being so bamboozled, but I still like the Scani, right? Although, ooh, Storm Spirit, where did the Storm almost lose all that health to? My god.
He's jungling. He's just like taking a lot of damage from the neutrals again.
My goodness.
And Costability, we can definitely say he's fully online now. You know, the Silver Edge, the Falcon Blade, the BKB, Hurricane Pipe, Boots of Trial. I don't know why I mentioned Falcon Blade instead of Maelstrom. I was like, Falcon Blade! I was like, oh, alright. The Maelstrom is a slightly bigger deal. But it's a good item. Falcon Blade is shockingly good for
him. I'm glad to see that. I thought that item was really cool whenever it got picked up. I like seeing a lot of offlaners pick it up when Solarin got nerfed. I'm especially happy to see it on Lina, especially those wild, just blade of attack builds to start off the lane. And yeah, Garnick, ooh, gets the hook shot away through the Nether Strike, and oh, the glimpse! They actually get the glimpse! What at the last second? What a play from KJ. Vision provided from the Timbersaw. Beautiful team play there from Keystars, and now even taking away those creeps in the mid lane. No Rock Golem is going to be hitting my tier 2.
And that Rock Golem is a big deal because he does give you a 15% extra health boost, which is like massive in those team fights. Again, all these kills that Keystar does, they have 8 kills advantage, but 15 of those kills have been on supports. Telecor died 11 times and Gardic died 4, which is, again, it's like these kills matter, but it's only a tiny advantage for Keystars, and I still see Alliance as having the draft advantage once they add that BKB on the anti-mage, which is about 700 gold away from.
And just a little bit of a poke there from the spear breaking. Yeah, I mean, the net worth is starting to even out a little bit. Finally, our disruptor has caught up to the clockwork, so not all too disparity anymore. But still a little bit. Like, supports are going to be just food in this game. There's an anti-mage on one team. There's a Spirit Breaker and a Stone Spirit on the other. It honestly feels like one of those games where like, okay, maybe if I get a Force Staff, a Yule Scepter, a Ghost Scepter, and a Glimmer Cape, I think I can live for a few seconds in these fights.
And an Aeon Disc. Never forget the Aeon Disc. That's the one, right?
Oh, yeah. That's the last one that you need to add in. And we'll get a nice look at this. Dude, this glimpse is fantastic.
I love that he goes back to base. And he like halfway through, he's like, no, you're coming way back here. That's a long glimpse, right? It takes like more time further away you are, but that was like as maximum as it can get, you know, from one side of the map to the enemy fountain. But
dude, that's what we should really make the disruptor. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Keystars, they're still being a bit cautious with this. You know, they're not like pushing it, even though they have 4K gold advantage. It doesn't feel like a massive advantage, you know? It's like, it's not the biggest deal here. It's starting to increase. The BKB is on Lumiere here. Let's see what he can do here.
Oh, lots of stacks. But yeah, no, 5 minutes, or sorry, 31 minutes, 5K net worth lead isn't fantastic. You know, it's still like probably one item up. Maybe it's a BKB up on one of the teams. But smoke up here. We've got Roshan respawning possibly in a minute 30. So I like trying to take control of this top half of the map. But Keystars, they're kind of sensing it out, right? They're just backing up and playing on their own vision.
Another thing though is that even if Lumiere does jump on people, he does without the bash. He has no weird way of keeping them there, right? He like jumps in and they can just
Oh
wow, that's
my
a jump.
goodness! Spearbreaker trying to start it off, but what a static storm! 40 are able to sit and hit, but the roar actually does hit onto the laner. They're cutting out so much of this BKB, able to get the force staff through, but AM doesn't want to stop this yet. Will get on top onto the disruptor here, but the LC will hit as he gets dragged back from the glimpse, and 40R able to help Otomo get a beautiful kill on the anti-mage. Just wanted to collect that Lina, but was too late. The protection to keep this Lina alive is fantastic right now from Keystars, and now 3 gone, 9,000 net worth lead as Roche is possibly going to respawn.
Man, King RD, I don't know if we'll see that in replay, but he charged in and got the greater bash on like 4 people or something like that. He was stopped at the very end. And that was just the perfect fight. Like, look at that when he jumps into the oh, well, actually, this is a bit later, but he was able to give them vision. They were able to throw that beautiful static storm, immediately getting rid of Gardic, who, by the way, when he buys back, it's not really a useful buyback because look where he goes all the way to the tier 2. Does throw a rock, which is nice, but I thought that maybe Lumia would be able to make that. But there's so much damage coming out from 4DR and top on that fight. And now Alliance very much on the back foot. Costa Bele is looking more and more unkillable. Is 9% chance in Keystar's favor. Alliance. The problem is that again, like Antimate, he jumps in without a basher. He can't hold anyone there. They can just move away however they like.
Yeah, this is like the BKB timing is so fragile, it seems, right now from the anti-mage, right? If you don't use it at the perfect time, you don't get to kill on the Disruptor. Disruptor just sends you wherever he wants you to go, and he just very sad for the rest of the fight. You can see it, like Costa Bele, there was kill potential. Even though they were so far down that worth, they were almost killing that Lina, which would have been fantastic, huge for the anti-mage to get that gold, get that XP. But instead, because of the protections, because of even the Force Staff on the Lina, honestly, once we have an Abyssal, I think for the AM, maybe it will be different, right? But until then, you just don't have the lockdown that you really need right now, unless the Roar has already been used. And they did get to use it on the Lina, they did get to cut out the BKB, but Anti-Mage wasn't also able to jump on top of it because of how the fight got sectioned off.
And you mentioned the Roar on the Lina. Well, guess what? Lina has a Lincoln Sphere. So it's like,
Ooh.
well, that sucks. Can we somehow get a lift on her or something? Like it's a little bit, it's very unfortunate right now. Alliance are going for a second smoke. Last one worked out pretty disastrous for them. How will that happen this game? All right.
I mean, they already popped the Lincolns here, and even in the static storm, it's 3 BKB, so they won't all that mind. And yeah, Lumiere trying to chase forward a little bit more. KJ gonna drop down the static field, and already charging through from King RD. Chavo's on top, and they just rip through Vitali. This Beastmaster does not last at all, and they'll even drag back this time, but the snowball save, unfortunately, will still land right on top. Ooh, with a blink away! Still charging through, though, from the Spearbreaker, and a nice lift. Rubik saving the day for the Tusk. Oh, what a play into the snowball, saving himself on Analog. Could have been much worse, but still, it is buyback from Costa Bele. Very important for Keystars.
But Roshan's up, and the Keystars, they have the map control right now. Alliance, they know it's there because the rocket just went up, but Costa Bele is going to get this, and that buyback feels really good right now because, you know, you're going to have Aegis for 5 minutes, your buyback's going to be up a couple minutes after that. So, awkward situation right now. King RD's got an Aghanim Scepter on the Spirit Breaker, which means that, you know, that 7 seconds of charge cooldown goes through BKB. You can like click people who are BKB. A big deal for Keystars. Like, their control is mostly a Spirit Breaker against BKB piercing, but it's so low cooldown. It's easy for him to get those multiple charges off.
Oh, they are chasing. Alliance wants to find anyone in.
Oh
no. Yeah, Keystars, they're just gonna eliminate the Clockwork. So, easy kill, it seems. LSA into the Laguna. And that is technically dieback, no, for the Clockwork. So, 60 seconds, no buyback.
Yeah, it's the dieback from the one where we in the last fight where he TP'd the mid tier 2 and he was walk all the way there. But yeah, this is I didn't think that it would go this way. You know, I thought Alliance would be able to go for the late game draft, but as you can see, their other cores besides Lumiere, they're really falling off. Vitaly was #1 net worth, #2 for most of the game. Now he's all the way 5th for Analog on the Tusk, hasn't been able to get spawn. All going to be overtaken by King RD. At that point, it's really anti-mage against the world. I don't know if he can do it.
I think if it was just the Anti-Mage versus a Storm, I'd be very happy, right? You win that matchup, you're perfectly fine. Delina is still unproved matchup, and they do have a lot of heroes that still try to deal with the AM, still reposition him, and of course with the Spirit Breaker, still go through the BKB charges, so it's so hard for the Anti-Mage to carry this game solo. And thankfully they did get the top tower, so they're opening them up the map again for the AM, finally be able to kind of get that farming circuit that he wants, but Keystars are knocking on the front door, right? They're down to the tier 3 already. Tower almost gone. So Costabile like putting on all the pressure they need. Still have Aegis for another about 3 minutes.
And Costabile's got 2 layers of Lincoln Sphere on him. One from Tavo and one that he owns himself. So it's like every time one breaks, you just put another one. Like, oh well, that's lovely. So you have to go through like a steal, a lift, then you can get the roar on, something like that.
Oh my goodness, Invis! And with another strike, they start the fight on Gardic and he's just gone! Now even in the base, Kennedy will go down, 40R, able to back away, but man, what an assassination on the Clockwork. And honestly, they haven't lost much of their top side. It already kindly showed that there's very little damage on the tier 3. Enough, but not anything that makes you super scared right now if you're Keystars.
Remind me that 80% is very little now. And it's like, that took very little damage. I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm sorry. It's like hanging on by a thread, but...
I like to think, you know, if you don't actually get the racks, the split push, it doesn't matter, you know? The towers are cool, but the racks are what matters, you know?
I agree with that. It is the rack that matters, and that's what Keystars got, while Vitali barely dented their tower, you know?
It's all
and even though there's still an Aegis on the board, you don't have to think about it yet, but once they're going to fight for next Aegis, which I'm assuming is going to happen, I don't think you're able to end the game just yet on Keystars. So once that next Aegis starts to come up, your bot wave is going to be pushing into you if you're Alliance. So you're going to have this bot wave to think about. You don't naturally push that one out as you're going to contest the Roshan pit. So kind of investment in the future right now for Keystars, and you have to pay a lot more attention to this now. Smoked up on the AM, just trying to find any farm as well, and yeah, at 94% win chance right now for Keystars. It's pretty good for the Lina team.
It's alright. There's still a silver lining, which is that Lumiere does have the Abyssal Blade. He is up against 3 Lincoln Spheres, by the way. All the cores of Keystars have a Lincoln Sphere, so it does severely negate the value of that Abyssal, but at least he has it. Look at that! He's got Lincolns on Lincolns.
It's just the layers of Lincoln Sphere. I don't know. At this point, it's really hard to say, just ignore the Lina, kill everybody else, and just go to her last, because she dishes out a lot of damage. But if everyone's stacking Lincolns on the Lina, is that really it? Do we have to ignore this hero for the start of the fight?
I think you can, if the Aegis is down, you can hook shot and you can get the Lina. Like, she is, you can't ignore her. There's no way you can ignore her, but you have tools to get close to her. Yeah, you can get her. You know, the BKB, you can bring her down those few seconds. So I wouldn't count Alliance just yet. It's a massive advantage, but like I've seen worse 21,000 gold leads, if that makes sense.
That's true.
You know, there's sometimes where it's like 2,000 gold leads, like nope, that's right. This one, it's not an insurmountable 20,000 gold leads.
I think we've always been saying
we have
too,
Alliance.
that it is.
I was like, we have Alliance fans in the chat. We gotta give them hope, you know?
That's true. Hey, I mean, you said it. Like, we're waiting for the AM. That's what this is about. AM's not supposed to win early. AM's not supposed to be ones that net worth lead. We wait. We come back. We jump on support and murder him in cold blood, and then we're back in the game.
Yes, exactly. And we've definitely done the part where we are on the back foot, you know? Alliance is like, listen, we've done the script where we are, you know, in the bad spot. Can we do the part where we start the winning? Is that possible?
I've done my time. When is it my turn to win?
Level 25 very soon on Lumiere. I think he's gonna go for the Mana Void talent, right? Because the counter spell gets broken by a Silver Edge. We'll see if he wants to go for it or not, though.
A lot of, I mean, you're looking at 3 spellcasters in your core roles, right? Lina, Timber, Storm, like all of them are big fans of the mana here, and very large mana pools as well. So it'll do pretty nice damage if you're able to get on top of one and burst one. Maybe that's the golden ticket, right? You jump on one with a very high mana pool, you mana void them in the midst of the rest of the team, you just get an instant rampage, right? That's your big hope.
I think that was one of the TI short films, the anti-mage with an Aegis. and he got ganked by 5, and then Queen of Pain used all her mana, and then she's like, no mana when he comes back. It's a pretty good one. Oh, this might not be so good. Lumiere takes the stun.
Trying to Manta dodge and win with the Vortex AoE. Laguna as well. So much damage with the BKB pop. Anti-Mage is going in. He's not done fighting just yet. The lane gets so low. Can anyone save her? No! Coast ability will fall. In the midst of the Static Storm, all of a sudden the AM doesn't have a BKB. He'll go down. They even take down on Tavo. And Tavo gets another double. What a play here. Coming through from Keystars. They are willing to end this game right now. You gotta force the buybacks right into the tier 3 towers. And I tell you what, they got the kill on Coast ability. It just wasn't enough. KJ waiting for the exact right time, and that Static Storm was impeccable.
And it wasn't that, it was also the Lincoln Spears. Like he had Lincoln Spears on top of him. They got the jump on Lumiere. He started that fight with like half health, or barely, I think it's quarter health actually. Barely damaged, as according to Mathematician.
Oh yeah.
And that was just too much for him. They have buyback on 4 analogs if they want to use it, but you might want to if you want to keep your Raxus alive here. Oh,
yeah, you can't let Megas go. They do buy back instant snowball, so they will find retribution with KNRD, but I believe that's the only one. Everybody else gonna back out here. So buybacks on Gardic, Vitaly, and Analog. And AM, unfortunately, with no buyback available. Thankfully, did get that kill on the Lena, so you do get a good amount of gold still, but unfortunately, you lose so much of your base.
All right. Here's a jump.
Look
Yeah,
at
Lumiere
Bailey.
takes a lot, barely any damage. You know, perfectly full health. Goes, look at that. He's got Lincolns. He's got so many Lincoln Spears on him. Lumiere is thinking, do I want to go in? Do I want to go out? But unfortunately, jumps back as the Static Storm comes out. Just King RD has been doing insane work on the Spirit Breaker this whole game.
A charge lanes on
by the
3
way,
heroes. Oof.
All right, Costabila's DC. This is the comeback Alliance has been waiting for. You know, they're like, all we have to do is wait for the internet to go bad for Keystars. You'll wait for some disconnect. We can take that 2% and make it 100. That's all they have to do. But unfortunately, Costabila is back. Alliance back to 2% chance. Roshan could be up, and there's no King. There's no King RD for a while. Oh, it's a long one. Gaben does not like the ult.
And they will. So 9 seconds up on the image. Would have been nice if you're able to go in and get that steal in the Roshan instead. We'll be waiting for everybody to be up. 30,000 net worth lead right now. And I will say a good bit of that is nested in the buybacks of Keyd Esports. So honestly, in order to kind of nullify some of that lead, honestly need to go top as Alliance, get that outpost taken. There's no other towers that are really close to Roshan anymore. So if they can take away that outpost, maybe they give themselves a little bit. But I mean, it still feels pretty insurmountable right now as the lead from Keystars.
Well, if 4 Analog can jump in and kick someone to their side, that could be a nice opening for them. You know, like it's a lot like the Tiny jumping and tossing someone. This is a smoke, both a smoke on smoke action.
Yeah.
This could
secure the game. Jetpacking on Gardic. They jump through it, and well, with the Eon Disc, it'll pop already. They've used a Logic Man, and yeah, the Gardic will still fall. BKB on Coastabella, and well, this run through. Actually gonna get this interrupted from King RD. Trying to go for more, and the Nether Strike. It does connect on the Tusk, and with the Laguna analog trying to get away, the BKB will not be enough to save him. Lumiere also popping the BKB, trying to get away, but the Glimpse is gonna come back with the Ola Core. 3 down, and even the Animate cut up by Coastabella. And the Anti-Mage will fall! Coastabilla getting that last kill, a double. And well, in 30 seconds, they could walk into the Roach Pit. Honestly, they could walk up and take Megas.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, looking pretty over. Alliance, I'm surprised they went back. They actually had a ward when that fight started in that area when the smoke broke, and Keystars did not. So they like you smoke for that situation basically, where you have the vision. It breaks, but they decide, you know, Garlic goes in, the rest don't, and unfortunately for them, yeah, they call GG. Alliance,
oh wow,
you know, good effort, but Keystars, they played it really well. I thought the draft bench phase with Alliance, but Coastabilla on the Lina, as well as King RD on the Spirit Breaker, had a fantastic game, and I mean, all of them did, right? Even like the Disruptor, so many great Sag Storms in that situation.
Oh yeah. No, I honestly think the Disruptor played this game fantastically early on. Again, like when there wasn't a BKB, just able to throw all those spells out. You know, you never get away from the Ruptor, especially that glimpse topside on the Animage where he felt like things could have been getting better for them. And then, you know, as the BKBs came out, forcing them through for Keyed Stars, and just very, very happy and how they played for the Disruptor and KJ. So I don't know. I know they can't just ban that one, but I do think that the Animage for me felt a little bit rough. I thought you could fight into this lineup of Vivo Keyed Stars before that AM came out, but just needed a little bit more time. Somehow they could have bumped more. Maybe if they could have gotten a few kills earlier, maybe the AM works out.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the Scotty pickup, honestly. I feel like they need the early BKB. You know, it's like the boots, the Battle Fury. The Manta is fine, but then you need BKB. So I didn't love that that Scotty pickup. They delayed a lot of the items that he really needed. Then he went back for Vanguard. Then he went to BKB. So, I mean, again, it's all the credit goes to Keystars, though. They really showed up in that match. I love the multiple Lincoln Spheres. I thought that was a huge part of their success.
Yeah. It's really hard to go on someone with a BKB, 2 Lincolns behind them, and an entire Disruptor, too. If you manage to get on top of Lena, just getting a glimpse right on back. So, really hard game to play from Alliance. And, well, guys, thank you for watching our Game 1 here of Alliance versus Keyed Stars. We're going to throw it back over to Lil and the rest of our panel so they can break down what they thought happened in Game number 1.
Thank you, Math. Thank you, Otto. We are back here on the panel to talk about this first match, a smashing performance for Vivo Kid, right? We are here with Sherlock and Otto's twin, right? The twin.
Yeah.
He's here again.
The
man that does it all. Welcome back, guys. And what exactly happened to this game 1? Because we were banking on the Anti-Mage so hard, right? And
oh yeah. I don't know if Otto and Math. Just go ahead.
I didn't watch the game, so I'm gonna have Sherlock explain to me what happened. I wasn't even paying attention.
I didn't notice if you guys Otto and Math said the MVP, but for me the MVP here is must be Disruptor. KJ just played very, very well with the glimpse. By the way, as soon as the link starts showing up on the KJ, everything just changed. Anti-Mage couldn't do anything about it. Just couldn't because of the Lincolns. What a game change, those Lincolns.
I wasn't really. I just feel like Alliance decided they took too much time to come online, right? Like at one point we saw 4 Analog wanted to go Desolator instead of BKB, and we saw that again Anti-Mage went for the Scotty and the Vanguard, then the BKB. I just feel like they weren't. They feel like they realized they didn't think like they were in a rush. You know, they're like, oh, we have time. It's like, no, really. The enemy team is itemizing to fight, and you're losing fights.
And so, do you think it was related to playstyle or more about the drafting?
I don't think it was drafting. I mean, I think I agree with Otto. The playstyle of the Alliance, they were so slow. They just, you know, they gave a chance to the Vivo Keyed Stars to come back to the game. They couldn't finish the game early. Like, they had they were snowballing with the Vitali playing the Beastmaster and even Analog.
Yeah, I just agree with Sherlock. It looked pretty good. Like Keystars didn't even push their advantage with the Timber Saw, but at the same time, Alliance was even somehow slower. In the end, Keystars took the game 1, and they played beautifully. I agree that the MVP could go Disruptor, honestly.
Yeah, nice. 3-man static storms and many glimpses that game changing, right? Okay, so we're going to a quick break. Thank you everyone watching, and we will be back for game 2 pretty soon.